Hi, I'm Lars Danner. I'm an Anchorage-based year-round cyclist. This video is about setting up rims that have holes in them, tubeless. Such rims include the clown shoe rim, the rolling Darryl rim, and there's even a carbon rim, a couple of carbon rims that have holes in them. So the trick there is to seal up the center hole with a good tape that'll prevent any sealant from getting through that and leaking out. So to do this, I use a three-step procedure. When I'm using a clown shoe rim or a rolling Darryl rim, I build up the outer rim a little bit, and to do that I use duct tape. I use a fairly thin duct tape. This is a decorative duct tape. The next step I like to do is to put a little bit of reflective tape that shows through the hole. And then the final step, I like to use a final sealant tape, which in this case I'm using 8898 3M tape. This is very similar to Stan's tape. I take 3 passes of it, one on the outside of the rim, one on the other outside of the rim, and then a third down the middle. Once you've got that done, you're ready for step 2, which is putting the tire back on the rim, putting the inner tube in the tire, and riding around for a few weeks. Okay, after you've gotten the tape to seat for a few days, you're ready to set up your tire tubeless. So, to do that, you'll break the bead on the same side of the tire that the disc is on, but of course first we'll need to let the air out. So, loosen it up, and that'll take a couple of seconds. While that's draining, I'll let you know what you need for this next step. You'll need a valve stem, and you'll need some sealant. Pretty simple. Now, with the procedure I'm going to show you, you don't need anything particular or special to get the tire to seat. I've seen videos where people have used straps or foam or other things like that. None of that stuff is really necessary if you take a few simple steps. So, we're starting to get the air out. Not quite enough. When we break the bead, like I said, we'll do it on the same side as the disc. The reason you do that is you always want to keep one side with a really good seal. And if you're ever out on the road in the winter and you need to break the bead, you always want to break it on the disc side so that you don't have the disc in the snow, which can cause you to bend the disc. Okay, so I think I've got enough air out to break that bead. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. See, it takes a fair amount of force. And then just move it all the way around. And there you go. Okay, lift it up over the lip and grab your inner tube at a convenient spot. Sometimes it can be just a little bit difficult to get if you haven't deflated it enough, and I didn't take the valve core out, so take a few seconds here. And here we go. Got most of the inner tube out now. And unscrew the retaining nut from the valve stem. Takes a second. Okay. Push the valve stem up out. All right. At this point you've got it sealed on one side, unsealed on the other. All right. Now you're going to take your valve stem. I like the American Classic valve stems. They seem to work best with single-walled tires. A lot of fat bikes use single-walled tires. The clown shoes are single-walled. The rolling Darryls, the heads, some of the 907 tires are single-walled. So having a nice flat valve stem like this works best with those. If you have a double-walled rim, then you can use really any valve stem. But for the single-walled rims, these American Classic work best. I also like to put a little neoprene washer in there to protect the carbon. This isn't a carbon rim, but I do have a few carbon rims, and so I just get in the habit of putting this little neoprene on there so that the nut doesn't scratch or start to wear away at the carbon. Then we screw on the retaining nut rather. Take a second here. Okay, now for the magic. And this is pretty simple magic. We're gonna get a nice handy dandy flash pump, although really any kind of a system that will give you a nice blast of air will work just perfectly for this. We're gonna get our sealant. Like I said, I use about 100 grams. 100 to 150 is generally sufficient. More than that is too much. Less than that is not going to give you a good liquid portion. It'll just dry up too quickly. So, having pushed it in there, we'll then put the tire over the bead. Takes just a little bit of effort there. Okay. Now I'm going to simply loosen up the valve stem there. Attach my source of air. And now all you do is you just gently rotate the rim so that the bead is pointing downward, and you flip the lever. There you go, you can hear it popping. And take off the source of air. Tighten up your valve stem one last time. Do your stand shake. And you are good to go. Mount up that tire. Ride safe and have fun.